It's that time again. We've all been waiting for it. You've guessed it. It's round 2 of the WTRL Zwift Racing League. Stage 1 of this one is a team time trial. So we head to Watopia for 2 laps of the Tock course. The route itself is 36.1 kilometres or 22.4 miles in length, with an elevation gain of 112 metres or 367 feet, whichever you're choosing. This is definitely going to be a fast team time trial course. The best bike available to you for this one, in my opinion, is going to be the Cadex Tri. One top tip though is to get your teammates, if possible, to select the same bike, so there's no excuses to get dropped. There's no power-ups available for this one, but you've got your teammates with you. So get your strategy right and bring your fastest 4 riders home for the result. This undoubtedly is going to be a fast team time trial course. So get your pace line right, and remember, no half wheeling. Before I dive into the Recon video of this one, please do click that like button, click that subscribe button, and then you'll get notified of my upcoming Recon videos. Let's dive into this one. So we'll start from the desert pens on my left here as I pass through, and the lead in for this race is 2.3 kilometres or 1.4 miles with an elevation gain of 6 metres or 20 feet, which is ample time for you and your teammates to get your pace line formed up and get yourselves in a nice line to start moving through the desert. One top tip I'll give you here is in your name title, if you and your teammates can put a number between 1 and 6 to identify where you are in your pace line, it can help you form your line quicker and easier out on the road. Just a top tip for you there. We're going to come down through the desert here and hit the Fuego Flats segment, which we'll do 3 times on this, once on the lead in and then once to finish each lap. A lap on this course is 16.8 kilometres or 10.4 miles in total, and as we move through, we're just coming up now to the start line of the first lap. So by now you and your teammates should have got your lines all formed up and you should be working through your team's strategies. Everyone's strategy is different, but as this is a flat course and there's not too many key points in it, I'm guessing your strategies are going to be evenly spread between your teammates. One thing to watch out on this one is the little rises that are here. There's not many of them, but I'll point them out as we go through. Just another point to point out for you is that you only need 4 riders out of your 6 riders that started to finish this. So get your fastest 4 riders across the line. So we're coming through the old town now, as you can see. And as we exit the old town, we come in towards the Oasis Bumps. We go round the right hand bend and through the rock lined archway, and as we exit that, you'll see that we're into the Oasis Bumps. It's not really a big feature, but it's just something to be mindful as you come out through the end of these rocks, that there's going to be a gradual increase in the elevation to about 2%. Just sometimes catches some people out. Here it's just starting 1%. And it will go into a 2% gradient as you go through underneath and by the waterfall. So the desert flats here, just still pushing on the pedals, working through your formation, getting your strategy right at this point. It's not really a lot to talk about in this segment, but all I would say is keep turning those pedals, pushing hard, and remember, being in a pace line is better than half wheeling the person in front of you. Try and sit back. If you get a bunching within your team, the person at the back of your pace line needs to back off and slow down so that the line can reform. If you happen to start bunching, either push through the front or pull off the back to try and slow down and get that line back. The drafting benefits of being in a line is better than that half wheeling bunching effect. It's always good making these Recon videos to get a cheeky little dyno power cap and sock combo as you do it. I think on this team time trial, there's potential for teams to actually set some really good power figures. Maybe some PBs, maybe some FTPs changing. Depends on how you work it, but I really think if your team works well and pushes on, the power figures could really be in your favour. As we come past this turning point here, this is probably one of the most noticeable bits on the TikTok course. It's a slight elevation with the heads-up display here showing it for you. We're going from 2% into 3%, and this is really where you need to really be strict with your pace line, manage it well, and be talking amongst your team to be able to get through this little rise all together. It will ease off and then a slight 2% again, and when you get to the top of this one, it's a descent, which again, the formation of your pace line is going to be really important. So stick together, hold your places, and if you've numbered yourselves like I suggested earlier on, keep that formation, keep the rotations going. As you come off the top of this one, it's really important that you and your teammates start to work on the descents as well. Keep pushing those pedals, keep making your rotations as you make this descent. Don't sit up, don't rest on these. This is where you can make valuable seconds if you want to be competitive in this time trial. As you exit the desert and back onto the tarmac here, this is another noticeable bit in the course. It's a downhill as you enter into the tunnel to get underwater. Make the most of this descent, keep turning those pedals, keep putting that power out, keep your line together. Now that we've gone down under the water, you know what's going to come the other end. Yep, we've got a rise out of it, which again is going to be the next noticeable part of this circuit. And here it is, as you come out of the tunnel, the slight incline kicks in and you need to hold your line as this 3% short little ramp kicks in. Hold that line, push over the top before you back up on the flats and ready to take the right hand turn to head back into the desert. Again, another point of note, as you turn over this wooden bridge, it does ramp up to 2%. It's not really that noticeable, but it's a 2% rise. So just to be mindful that if you're pushing to the front on this segment, you might feel it's a little bit tougher. But this road will lead us back out into the desert and get us back on the flats, ready to complete lap 1. just passing the start pens there on the left where we started this time trial from, and we're back into the desert flats. And as we head round this corner, the Fuego Flats sprint segment is here again for the second time, taking us to complete lap 1. Lap 2 is exactly the same. You'll complete it as you pass through this desert arch. Choose your team strategy well and you'll be in for a great result. Best of luck to you all. Well, there you go. Recon ride for stage 1 of the WTRL Zwift Racing League in Watopia on the TikTok course. Hope you've liked this video. Please do click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you out on the course.